Hello students, welcome to IFS. So in today's session will be the last session where we will be discussing the remaining few questions, as many questions as possible of the previous year 2020's UGC NET English paper. And till yesterday we discussed most of the questions. I explained it to you, what are the correct answers and how that answer is correct. Okay, and we discussed so many other things related to the questions. Okay, now the time has come to end the session, and from Monday we are going to start with something new. Okay, so if you haven't shared this video as of now with your friends, do share it right away so that your friends also don't miss the studies, and they will be also able to prepare for UGC NET with you. Okay, so yes, let's look at the first question. Let's discuss question number 66. So yes, till yesterday we discussed the questions till question 65, and today we are going to discuss question 66. So what is the question? Which two terms from among the following are specifically linked to the work of Perry Bourdieu? Okay, so पेरी बोर्ड्यू के वर्क के साथ कौन से दो टर्म सबसे अच्छे से लिंक करते हैं? So Pierre Bourdieu was basically famous for the terms habitus, and one more term is distinction. So these are the two terms he focused on, and his works are based, or he wrote basically. So for example, Jacques Derrida wrote on structuralism. Yes, so most of his essays are based on structuralism. Similar is with Michel Foucault. So his genre was different. So similarly, Pierre Bourdieu's genre was habitus, and distinction were the two terms which he was focused in. Okay, so the answer will be option number 2. Now this you will understand eventually when you will actually study, when you will actually learn all the works of Pierre Bourdieu. Okay, Pierre Bourdieu. Now let's look at the next question. So which two of the following books are explorations of the art of the novel by novelists? Exploration of art of the novel. Okay, so first one is here, The Brief Compass, The Knave and the Sentimental Novelist, The Visionary Company, and then Testaments Betrayed. Okay, so here the two books, those are the exploration of art of the novel by the novelists are, first one is The Knave and the Sentimental Novelist, and the second one is The Testaments Betrayed. Okay, so remember this means which will be the correct answer? Option number 4. Now when I am explaining you the answer, even I am forgetting the correct answer to mark. So in the exam, at the time of the exam, there is a high chance that you will forget to mark the actual answer. So here what is happening? I'm just finding out which are the options. Now which from the options, which is the correct answer, has to be marked right. Yes, correct. So that is why you have to pay 100% attention. Cross check again and again whether you have marked the answers correct or not. Okay, so marking the answer correct is the secondary part, but first check whether you have at least marked the answer or not. Okay, because most of the time what will happen, you will just, because the recent the type or the pattern of exam or the questions is very different from the earlier. Here there is a lot of scope for confusion. Okay, so to avoid that confusion, you have to be very alert while giving all the answers. So now let's look at the next question. So Harold Skimpole is a character in. So Harold Skimpole is the character in Bleak House. So it is basically the first caricature of one of the Victorian age writer. So it is the caricature of High Hunt. High Hunt, okay, and his name is, he is Victorian writer. Okay, so remember this. So it is, the work is called as Bleak House. Next is Macaulay's Minute of 1835 sought to promote European culture and science among the natives, impart knowledge of English literature and science through translated texts, then encourage branches of native learning by more useful studies, or stop expenditure on the publication of Oriental works and spend funds only on English education. So the answer for this question is, first of all, the Macaulay's Minute work is focuses on the promotion. It promotes the European literature and science among the natives. This is the first thing. And the second thing is that it stops expenditure on the publication of Oriental works and spend funds only on the English education. Okay, so basically it focuses on the English and how English or European culture has to be inculcated in the natives. So these are the important two things which are mentioned or focused in this essay of Macaulay's. Okay, now let's look at the next question. Arrange the following women novelists in the chronological order by date of birth. Okay, so first of all, we have to find out the date of birth of all the novelists, women novelists. So first is Anne Bronte. So Anne Bronte's date of birth is 17 January 1820. Then Jane Austen's date of birth is 16 December 1775. So the year matters. Then Anne Radcliffe's date of birth is 9th July 1764. Then Anne Boleyn's date of birth is 13 June 1752. And then Maria Edgeworth's is 1st January 1768. Now arrange them in a chronological order. Who will be the first, or who is the oldest among the all? Fanny Burney. Yes? Will be the first. Who will be the second? Anne Radcliffe. Who will be the third? Maria Edgeworth. Who will be the fourth? Jane Austen. And who will be the fifth? Anne Bronte. So who is younger amongst the all? Who is youngest amongst the all? Anne Bronte. Okay, so the most recent women novelist is Anne Bronte among these. So which is the correct option that gives us this answer? Option number 3. Understood? Next, arrange the following critical works in their chronological order of publication. Now here we have Preface to Lyrical Ballads. So when was this published? It was published in 1801. Then The Defense of Rhyme. It was published in 1603. Then Life of Cowley was published in 1779. And The Frontiers of Criticism was published in 1856. Means which is the most recent work? The Frontiers of Criticism. Which is the oldest work? It is the Defense of Rhyme. So which is the correct answer that suits? Option number 3. Got it? Let's look at the next question. Who is the author of a fragment which was published in 1819. One of the earliest vampire stories in English. So Fragment is a story based on vampire. Okay, and who was the author of this book? Who is the author of this book? Lord Byron is the author of this book. Let's look at the next question. So, poetry, according to Sir Philip Sidney, is of three kinds. They are religious, dramatic, romantic, classical, romantic, neoclassical, philosophical, imaginative, narrative, religious, philosophical, or imaginative. So according to Philip Sidney, the poetry is of three kinds. Which are these three kinds? First one is religious, second one it has to be philosophical, and third it also has to be imaginative. Okay. So here the question arises in the minds of us that how can religious, how can philosophical be also imaginative, right? So that is contradictory words, but yes, for according to Sidney, it has to be there. So which two of the following events are described in Samuel Pepys' diary? The plague in London, the Great Fire of London, the War of Spanish Succession, or the Essex Rebellion. So the plague in London and the Great Fire of London are the two major events which are focused in the diary or in the book of the Samuel Pepys' diary. Okay. So in this book, he basically wrote more about, he focused how the condition was. Okay, this is a kind of a diary. So if you have read the Anne Frank's diary, so in that Anne Frank has written that what she suffered from, okay, when the concentration camps were going on, how the Germans tortured the Jutes, okay, and everything, whatever she was going through. Similarly, in this Samuel Pepys' diary, Samuel Pepys has written the incidents or whatever he or everyone was facing, going through in that age, okay, at the time of the plague as well as at the time of the Great Fire. So Great Fire in London, so that was everything. So in the Great Fire of London, there was a bakery. So in that bakery, the fire started and the fire spread all over, and what happened is everything is written in the Samuel Pepys' diary. Okay, so read it. Next, dekho. Which according to Thomas Hobbes is the only science God has bestowed on mankind that informs the structure of his monumental work, Leviathan. Leviathan is a monumental work written by Thomas Hobbes, and he says that geometry is the science that God has bestowed on mankind. How? That you can find it out when you will read the work. Next question is, who among the following is known to have popularized the term glocalization? Now the term glocalization is different. It is similar to globalization. Okay, so glocalization is the term. Who coined this term? Ronald Robertson. Okay, so you have, what is your homework for today? You have to find out what is this glocalization, what is there in this glocalization. So it is global as well as local. Okay, so you have to find it out about it. Next question is, in which of the Bog poems does Seamus Heaney speaks about the perishable treasure of a body, murdered, forgotten, nameless, terrible? So it is the strange fruit. Okay, so in the Bog's poem, of the Bog's poem does Samuel Heaney speaks about? So Samuel Heaney speaks about strange fruit, okay, which is perishable, which is called as perishable treasure of a body. Okay. Next is arrange the following authors in the chronological order of their birth. So here we have Oscar Wilde, then we have William Langland, then Geoffrey Chaucer, then John Dryden, and then Alexander Pope. Now Geoffrey Chaucer, the age of Chaucer we already know, right? So his age has to be first. No. So before the age of Chaucer, William Langland was there, who belonged to Old and Middle English age, Middle Literature age. Okay, so he is first. Second is Geoffrey Chaucer. Then we will see about the John Dryden. Yes. Then comes Alexander Pope, and then Oscar Wilde. So Oscar Wilde is the recent author. Okay. So which is the correct sequence, chronological order? Option number A, B, C, D, E, A. Let's look at the next question. Which two characters or speakers among the following exhibit the studious abstraction of scholars? This Shylock, Hamlet, or second Penseroso or Mosca. Which are the two characters or the speakers among the exhibit of studious abstraction? So Shylock basically belongs to Merchant of Venice. So yes, Shylock is not considered here. It is the Hamlet, and the second Penseroso. Okay, means which is the correct answer? Option number 2 is the correct answer. Now let's look at the next question. So here are some of the lines, and then there are also the poem. So you have to find out that कौन से poem में से कौन सी line लिखी गई है. Okay. So first line is monuments of unaging intellect. So the monuments of unaging intellects is written from the Sailing of Byzantium. Okay. So Sailing of Byzantium is the third option here. The next line is in the foul rag and bone shop of the heart. So in the foul rag and bone shop of the heart, this line is written in the circus animals desertion. Okay. Next is so mastered by the brute blood of the air. So so mastered by the brute blood of the air is written in. It is written in the poem Lady and Swan by Adam Skurse. And the last one is, I don't know why the second. Okay, sorry. Yes, Lady and the Swan. And the last one is Adam Skurse. As very hearted as that hollow moon is written in the from the poem Adam Skurse. Okay. So now students, even if you don't know each and every poem, even if you don't know each and every line of the poem, that is absolutely fine. लेकिन उसमें से एक का तो भी पता होना चाहिए. So for example, if you see here that so your 1 or 2 you should know that here when the options you will look at the options. So if let's say that option A का अगर 3 आंसर है, ऑप्शन B का 4 है, तो then you can cross check, right? कि अगर ऑप्शन तो और किस किस में है यही ऑप्शंस, ऐसे करके आप क्रॉस चेक करके वो आंसर मार्क कर सकते हो. Got it? I'm sorry. Now let's look at the next question. So given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other one is labeled as the reason. So देखते हैं assertion क्या है. The introduction of English in India was primarily of the benefit and consolidation of British power. Second, English catered to the social and economic aspirations of the emerging middle class and urban elites in India. Okay, so these are the two options. Now first we have to find out whether option A is true or not. So yes, definitely the introduction of English in India was the primary benefit for the consolidation of the British power, because they wanted to explore more and more. That is why was introduced in India. And second, and the second statement is also true, but it is not the reason for our assertion. Okay, that is why option 2 will be the correct option. That is, option A and option R are the correct statements, but R is not the reason for our assertion or explanation of our assertion. Got it? Now let's look at the next question. That which two rivers are mentioned by Andrew Marvell at the beginning of To His Coy Mistress? कौन सी दो रिवर के बारे में उन्होंने मेंशन किया है? सबसे पहले तो थेम्स रिवर, which is like clear cut remembered. The second one is the Ganges. Okay, so these are the two rivers he has mentioned in his work To His Coy Mistress. Next, now what is our next question? Which two terms among the following are associated with formalist criticism? Formalist criticism से कौन से दो term मिले हुए हैं? Aura, no. Actant, no. Narrative, no. Defamiliarization, yes. And foregrounding, yes. So defamiliarization and foregrounding are the two statements or are the two terms which are associated with the formalist criticism. Now who is the formalist criticism? Michel Foucault is the formalist criticism, and he coined the term defamiliarization. He talks a lot about defamiliarization. Okay, so when you will study the works of Michel Foucault, then you will understand this concept. Next question. The lives of which of the following writers have been the subject matter of novels by Anthony Burgess? Okay, so the lives of which of the writers have been the subject matter? So किन किन के लाइफ के बारे में एंटनी बोर्गेस ने लिखा है? अबाउट द मार्लोव एंड अबाउट कीट्स, इन दोनों के बारे में, इन दोनों की लाइफ जो है दैट इज द की सब्जेक्ट ऑफ एंटनी बोर्गेस नॉवेल्स. ओके, सो दिस इज इट. Okay, so these were the questions. Yes, so thank you so much Kumar Joshi, Kiran, Ranjit Desai, okay, for giving us the answers. Yes, Rohan, so Pratik, yes, very well done for the answers that you have given to me. So these were the questions that we were discussing as of now. Then so we will conclude this whole paper discussion series by today. Okay, I'll conclude this by today. So I guess you might have understood, you might have known as of now कि किस टाइप के या किस तरीके के questions आपको एग्जाम में पूछे जाते हैं, and what are the answers expected, or how you have to find out the answers for these questions. Yes, I know right now though these will be little difficult for you to understand, to analyze, because it is you haven't studied it properly, but keep trying, keep giving your efforts. Now at least the ones which we have read, you can study for them. For example, here now Anthony Burgess, now you can study for Anthony Burgess novels. Yes, where you will find that the subject matter is about the lives of Marlowe and the lives about the Keats. Yes, and when you will study for, let's say, Anne Bronte or Bronte sisters all together, that time you will understand that why they use a pen name, what was the need for writing in the pseudonym, yes, under the pseudonym. So these are some of the reasons, and so remember all these things. I hope it will be clear to you now, and keep practicing. and we will meet in the next week again with a brand new series. So stay connected, press the bell icon so that you will be notified as soon as I post my videos. Okay, so yes, that's it for today's session, and we will end the session for today, and let's meet from Monday onwards. Okay, until the time we meet next, happy learning.